Hey guys, my name is Sanjay. Welcome to the Engineer Wannabe YouTube channel. I'm here with my friends Keith and Clayton. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. And everyone in the chat, it's good to see you all too. Thank you for joining us. Keith, how are you, sir? What
I'm
is on
good.
your wrist?
On my wrist is it's too much of a pain to take it off, but the SPB 313, the new white
Yay.
dial Seiko. I think there's debate on whether it's a slim turtle or a slim Willard, but
Mm,
yeah, I love this watch. It's making me want to buy more Seikos, so we'll see what happens.
yep, I understand. I I'd lean towards it being more of a turtle than a
Okay.
Willard. Yeah. But so does it actually look white, the dial?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's matte white. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
no
does not look
beige
silver
tone
like
or
the other
silver
one.
tone or anything like that,
Nice.
which is what I wanted.
I haven't actually seen one yet, which is I, I guess it's pretty popular, but
Do you find that it wears big, Keith? That was my one takeaway. I thought it wore like long. The Seiko Magic wearability just wasn't quite there in my opinion. It was fine.
Yeah,
hmm,
It just wore
yeah.
longer than other cases, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say it does kind of wear a little bit long.
Yeah,
I've been noticing that. I do have it on a NATO, which may make it wear
yeah.
longer than normal. So we'll have to see what happens when I get it on a different strap or something.
They're great though. I
Still
like the
definitely
black and
wearable.
gilt's my favorite. Oh yeah,
Oh
totally.
yeah.
Just it wore longer than I was
Yeah.
expecting, I think. Totally wearable
hmm.
still. Yep.
Yeah, the black and gilt looks really nice.
Yeah.
That's what I'd go for myself.
Because I saw them all, and I like the white one the best in pictures. Then I was surprised in person how much more I liked the black and gilt. But
Oh
they're
yeah.
all
Hmm,
they're all really nice.
cool. And Clayton, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. We were just talking, very busy. So
Yeah.
yeah, been crazy getting just I can't handle all the inquiries and calls I'm getting. So it's good. Life's good.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, exactly. Beats the alternative.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, right.
And what's on your wrist?
So you want me to tell the
Yes.
story briefly?
Yes. Yes. Go for it.
Excuse
I
me.
love
So
story time.
yeah, so last time I was on this chat, we were talking about like Grand Seiko, shocker. And I was talking about and how I really like that one. And somebody in the chat mentioned that the Boston GS boutique had just opened and they had been there that day and they saw two of them. And of course, you know how we are. I was like, oh, that got me thinking, oh, maybe I'll take a ride into Boston tomorrow. So I did. Brand new. They had just opened. That was a Sunday I went there. They had just opened the previous Tuesday. So they had, like, I sent you some pictures, Sanjay. They
Mhm.
had quite the selection. They did, in fact, have two Sea of Clouds. So I did make that happen. Um,
Yay.
and then someone else I know went there a couple days later and bought the other one. So, but yeah, they had an amazing selection. The guys were super cool, great boutique experience. I think I showed you they wrapped the box in like a traditional Japanese with a cloth, and it looked like a little. I don't know, it was
Handle.
really neat. Yeah, got a nice watch roll
Oh wow.
gift. Grand Seiko. That was yeah, it was a great experience. And then 2 days later, I got the call for the Air King. When it
Oh
rains,
wow.
it pours. Life is good. Not. It was just 9 months sooner than I was expecting. So,
Yeah.
but it felt like I couldn't say no. So I took then the following Saturday, I took a ride 5 hours one way or so to pick that up, and
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. It wears great. I like the Sea of Clouds too, so I'm kind of honeymooning with both of them.
Hmm.
Um, so very fortunate. So
So does this the Air King, does it scratch the itch of that Explorer that you've been missing?
yeah, it's like I made the joke. It's like the Explorer's crazy uncle.
Yeah.
Because it's like it has the family resemblance for 369, and then it's just off the wall.
Yeah.
I like it more that I like that it's so weird.
Yeah.
I like it more than the Explorer. So I'm
Oh,
glad to
hey.
have this back. The size is perfect. Any more than 40 on a watch without a bezel for me is a little too big.
Mhm.
But it wears great. It's yeah, it's super comfortable. I haven't taken it off. Keeping crazy good time. I set it 2 weeks ago, and it's plus 2 seconds
Wow.
total
Wow.
in 2 weeks. And I mean, I don't wear it to work, so it sits in the box and stuff too. And it's yeah, it's just keeping crazy good time, and it's a fun watch to wear. Already putting some marks on it, so it's
Yeah.
mine now. So and that AD was just wonderful to work with. Yeah, just so it so happened our 11th wedding anniversary was that same week, and
Hmm.
stainless steel, ironically, was the 11th anniversary gift.
Oh,
So
very
my
cool.
wife put in a few little bit for this as my gift, and then I got her a bracelet there
Hmm.
as well. So that it worked out, and yeah, it was just a great day. They were very nice to me, and I can't believe I got the call in less than 3 months out
Yeah.
of my first time first visit at an authorized dealer. So
Yeah.
it's I don't know. It all worked out. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Congrats, man. That's really exciting. And here's hoping I get my Corolla sooner than
Yeah.
your son.
yeah, exactly. If
Not a
I got
blue
an Air
one.
King in 3 months, you can get a Corolla.
Yeah,
Darn it.
yeah. Um, yeah,
But
that's
yeah, I was
that's
just was not ready. So it's my watch budget is like tapped for a while, and
and
that's okay.
you have to nuke
So
your collection a bit, right?
I did for the Sea of Clouds, and
Okay.
then just gonna I was working on saving for the Air King. It just happened way sooner, so that's just gonna be. I'm not selling anything else to make
Oh,
that
phew.
happen. That's just yep. Sea of
That's
Clouds. I was like because my friends were joking like because it happened literally 2 days later. I uh the Sea of Clouds wasn't really for that one, but you know how it goes.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
then 2 days later, I got the email. I was just like, oh God. I was like, I can't really say no, can I? So, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
very very lucky. I'm not. It would be very first world problem to complain about that at all. So I'm not at all. Very fortunate. So
Yeah, a bunch of very good problems to have.
yeah, yeah. So and they're both two great watches. Of course, I'm having a little the Grand Seiko bracelet fitment issues. Now that it's hopefully it gets a little cooler, it'll fit me a little better. And I actually ordered a strap tailor strap
Oh,
for it
nice.
as well, like a nice blue one. I think that'll complement the Sea of Clouds.
Yeah.
That dial is beautiful. It's okay on the bracelet, just a little. I like my watches snug, but this is like just a little too snug.
Losing a bit
Yeah,
of feeling in your
yeah,
fingers.
exactly. Pinky
I've
went
heard
numb for a while.
I've heard good things about strap tiller, so
Yeah, I have
yeah.
too. I actually reached out and a couple people recommended them and yeah, they look really nice.
Yeah.
Found a discount code too. So,
Yeah, that sounds good.
yeah. So sorry to hijack the show, but that's my
Oh, no,
story.
no. Hey, that's that's what we're here for. Um, on my wrist is Omega Speedmaster. Uh, have it on this blue Minerva box strap, I think is what it's called.
That's a
Uh,
nice pairing.
yeah, I never thought black and blue would go together, but when I put this on, I was thought, oh, I guess black and navy goes together.
Yeah,
So I was pleasantly surprised. I was just putting off wearing this strap, and I just thought, yeah, just try it out. So I like it.
that's a
Um,
such a versatile dial watch strap for straps. It can go with anything. Some people don't
yeah,
like black and brown together even, and of course that goes well. And yeah, it just
yeah,
works with everything pretty much.
yeah, that's true. Let's say hi to everyone in the chat. We've got Brian Ryan. That's Rhymes. Welcome. We got Bill. How's it going? Joey B. Good to see you. Neff and Wilson. James. Good to see you. And BJ. Bruno. Kevin is here as well. Good to see you, sirs. Mez9. Uh, Kevin S is calling it the Slim Willard. Um,
One for Turtle, one for Willard.
one
Okay.
for Turtle, one for Willard. And I haven't seen it in person, so take my opinion with a
To
grain of
me, it's
salt.
more Willardy.
Okay. Okay.
I think.
There you
I
go.
think. Do you agree, Keith, or did you think Turtle?
It makes me think of the Willard more. Maybe it's
Yeah.
I I could barely, yeah, it just makes me think of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I could go either way.
Yeah.
But I think we all need to agree on something going forward so we know what to call him. He
Yeah.
needs an official nickname.
Well, Slim Willard it is. As for Kevin here. Wabin, good to see you. Honeymooning with the GS Peacock. Congrats. That's
Yeah.
exciting. Neff, I think I said hi to Neff, didn't I? Yeah, sorry. Bruno, good to see you. And Amin is here. How's it going, Amin? Enjoyed the Enter the Dragon talk last night. I wasn't there for most of it, but it was kind of hilarious. And Kevin Hawthorne, good to see you. Sea of Clouds says Jay. I mean, not congrats, but great watch. James is winning the big eye. Travis, good to see you. Cowboy YQG, how's it going? Justin, strapped in. Jay, notice my peacock crystal smudges much easier than the crystal on my Sea of Clouds. Any reason why this might be? Not that I know of. So, yeah, there shouldn't be a difference.
If you were obsessive about smudges, Grand Seiko may not be the brand for you, because I'm noticing I haven't had Zeratsu polishing in a while. It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Now, bear with me here. The way I minimize smudges is actually using like a spray wax on the watch. So
Okay.
when I clean my watch, I'll just use a spray wax on a microfiber and then clean the watch again with the microfiber. And it seems to, at least in my experience, seems to be less smudgy after that. So
It doesn't bother me a ton, but if you look, they're there.
yeah,
For sure.
soon it'll be scratches, not smudges, and
Yeah,
you won't
yeah.
care
I
about the
already
smudge.
have a couple. Oh well.
Yeah. Wilson is wearing the Sea of Clouds too. Neff is wearing the DS30. Cool. Kevin is wearing the Pepsi GMT Tudor.
Nice.
Very nice. Dirk, good to see you. It's been a
Dirk.
while. Thanks for joining. Um, BJ, I think I said hi. If I didn't, hi. BJ was the guy who mentioned Boston Boutique was open.
Oh yes. Thank you, BJ.
Yeah. Paul, good to see you, sir. Aqua Racer 200 on the
Or
neck.
should I be cursing you? No, thank you. That was a very impressive boutique, and then I got emails like every day that week from the guy who helped me there. Articles. I was like, oh, this guy's good. He's got me right where he wants me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Couple of congratulations on the Air King here and the Sea of Clouds.
Thank you.
Dirk actually picked up his first GS this week. SBGN 003. Cool. That's the one Keith has.
GMT.
It's a great one.
Mm-hmm. Congrats. Let's see. Kara Joe is here. Kevin mentioning furushiki cloth. Very traditional in Japanese culture when you give a gift.
Mm-hmm.
It looked a lot like the way we used to wrap our lunch boxes and take it to school or work with my dad.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Reinhardt's here. Good to see you, sir. Stefan is here. How's it going? Quickly say a couple more highs. Colin, how's it going? Good to see you. Wearing his overseas. Beautiful watch. Mark, how's it going? Chapek Antarctique. Beautiful. Tennessee Mike is here as well.
Hey, Mike.
MD Chaz, how's it going? What's with that video where you were waterboarding SPJ to 285? I'll chat about that in a bit. That was a little bit of fun. Scott Tarlow, good to see you wearing his Explorer. There you go. Hey, Matthew, good to see you. I saw your comment. Congrats on the white birch. Hope you're wearing it right now. Oh, there it is. Finally picked up the white birch. Travis, turtle wax. Don't use turtle wax. Unless if they've improved. But all right. Hey, there's Dib. Good to see you. We're in the Peacock as well. Okay. Yeah. So today's topic, I was thinking of talking about weird, maybe not weird habits, but habits that translate from our watch hobby into real life, like kind of like how that looks in real life. I'll give you a couple of examples. Maybe one example to start, and we can chat about it. Um, but so, for example, for me, I which one am I going to use? Um, okay, one that I am guilty of is I am a stickler for unnecessary wear and tear. Right. So something that bugs me with watches is if a watch is going, it's running and I'm not using it. So for me, that's unnecessary wear and tear. Fidgeting with the clasp, so undoing the clasp, putting it back on, undoing, putting back on. Super frustrating for me to see that. It kind of gets me a little anxious. I won't say anything to anyone if they are fidgeting with their clasp. But like especially the friction fit ones, like when you peel it open, kind of, and then you snap it back, and you peel it open, snap it back. I know it's rated for thousands and thousands of opens and closes, but um, it gets me going to see that, and
Does the same rule apply for bezels, rotating bezels?
a little bit,
Hmm.
not as much, um, but like a bezel, I think for me is it's designed to be rotated almost infinitely, right? While a clasp has a certain amount of cycles. um,
I'm gonna
I
say
mean,
I'm guilty of playing with the little battery latch on the remote. Not like
oh
it barely
yeah,
fits in. Just like
yeah,
falls out.
yeah.
But I can't
The-
stop myself from playing with that.
yeah, yeah, that would drive me nuts. And I feel bad for my wife because she has to put up with me. But if if um, if she keeps using the sun visor in the car, I'll get a little fidgety. Like I'll get a little antsy, and I was like, Do you have to,
Oh yeah.
do you have to put it down and put it back up? Just go, take a nap, close your eyes." You know, like if she's trying to look at the kids in the back seat, and she puts the sun visor down, opens the mirror, talks to them, closes the mirror, puts the sun visor up, does that like 2 minutes later. I'm just like, oh man, what is this? This wear unnecessary wear and tear. Um, that's a small example. There are other ways like handbrakes. Anyway, so that's one way where the watch hobby, like my um what would you call this? My quirk of being over hyper obsessed about wear and tear um translates to other aspects of life, like with a car, or let's say with a game controller. I'll do anything to not overuse like the joysticks, or you know um, with a headphone case. Um, I won't open and shut this, and I take a moment and make real sure that I'm going to listen to this for a good while before I open them. If it's like 5 minutes, I put them on, open it up, close it again. I'm not going to use them. I just wait 5 minutes in silence rather than inflicting that additional wear on this. And I used to have a cell phone, which is the Galaxy Fold. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. It's a folding
Mhm.
tablet smartphone
Mhm.
thing. Um, and when I opened it up, I'd make sure I would leave it open. So when I had my desk job, I'd open it up and I'd leave it open for the day on my desk because I didn't want to close it, open it, close it, open it, add that additional wear. Even though like it's rated for hundreds of thousands of opens and closes, you'd have to open and close it 100+ times a day to reach its limit in 5 years. I still have this issue. So yeah, so with the watch, it's the clasp, it's the The winding. This is one of the reasons why I like manual wound watches is because I know when it's gonna stop, and then I'd be like, okay, I'm ready to wear a different watch. While an automatic watch, I'm just kind of stuck. It's like, oh, it's running. I gotta wear it. I'm gonna leave it 5 days in my drawer, and it's just gonna run. What is this madness? So yeah, that's one thing with me. Do you guys have any thoughts?
I actually like shorter power kind of for that because I do rotate and then they just sit there and run for a few days. So I have friends who constantly use winders all the time
Oh
because
yeah,
they think they say it's built to run. So, but it's to me, it's like, yeah, but I don't know, it's not serving its purpose. It's just sitting there running. You're not wearing it. So, yeah, I let them all just die. So, yeah, so, um, the Rolex now has 70 hours, and I'm still on the honeymoon, but that'll die. I'm
yeah,
also like, it's so darn accurate. I just want to keep it going. So that
right.
might determine the honeymoon. But so question, your thoughtful usage in watches and in all aspects of your life with the things you buy, has that served you well? Do you often have things break, maybe less than other people?
I don't. Uh, it's it's rare that something breaks on me, but then again, it's rare that I own something for very long.
Yeah,
um,
how much do you wear out your like will you run your car into the ground, or will you get rid of it sooner than like how long do you keep a car for usually?
Usually about. I mean, there's only one card that I've had for a really long time. So that's my Focus ST. I had it for 7 years.
Oh,
So I got it. I was a second owner, so I got it after it was used for 1 year. Um, so I don't think I'd run it to the ground, although I'd like to imagine myself running it to the ground. So I use it like I would have it forever.
yeah.
But in practice, I never do. Kind of like with my watches, I'm thinking about service and in the future, whatever that may entail. But I haven't had a watch for longer than almost 2.5 years now with the SPGY 003. That's the longest I've had it. So had a watch.
But you're
Um,
doing a service to the whoever the next owner is.
yeah,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
either way, it's a positive.
Yeah, that's kind of how it goes. Um, let's check in on the chat here. Waven says, I feel like the Peacock has less AR than the Shunbun. Might be just perception. But even if it did, it would be on the underside, right? So the smudges wouldn't be. I don't know if you're speaking related to the smudges, but that shouldn't change the smudginess. But kind of disappointing if that is the case. Although, sorry to go back to that, the Shunbun is a lighter dial, and the Peacock is dark blue. So that dark blue is probably more reflective, right? So maybe it's the same amount of AR, but just more glary because it's a darker color.
Could
I don't
be.
know. Yeah. Kevin wears wraps his in saran wrap, reduces most smudges. That's good. I used to work at work with a master tiler, like a tiler, a guy who tiles floor tiles, not a Tyler Tyler, master tiler. Um, but I noticed the job was just ridiculously dusty. I didn't quite enjoy that job, but
Mm.
one way that I did protect my phone was I literally wrapped it in saran wrap, so I wouldn't let dust get in there. Um, let's. Oh, I think I went too far back. Hey, Sam's here. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Totally agree with you, Sanjay. Uh, and Kevin has the sticker for unnecessary wear soaks his leather watch straps in water. See, I didn't quite do that because the strap on that little short that I did was a sailcloth. So
Mm.
like I knew that watch was getting wet that day because it was a busy scheduled day, and I was like, I'm just gonna wear this watch, and it's gonna get wet, it's gonna get grimy, and um, yeah. So I planned for a sailcloth strap. Neff says I'm opening and closing my BB clasp now over and over. Ceramic thingies, who cares? That's true, but I don't know if the snaps, so the clasp, I don't know if the snaps are coated in ceramic. So the ball bearings might be ceramic, but I don't quite remember if the actual, like the hole that goes over has ceramic in it. I should hope so. Because then you're wearing out the metal part of the clasp way quicker because the ceramic's way harder. But who knows? We'll find out. Wilson says banging my watch in the fridge is unnecessary wear and tear. Absolutely. Don't seem like destroys paper clip. Bruno says, I can't believe I'm listening to this. Paul, time oxidation microns of steel just falling off, and tolerances become less and less hour by hour. Metal shading in the air. Laughing all the way across your Zeratsu. Yeah. Oh, sounds like a nightmare. Bridge door. Let's see. Hard to wear a watch in 60 days, though, isn't it? Yep. Let's see. Kevin S says I pulled the stem out of my watches so the second hand doesn't wear out. Oh, that's good. Colin says, Sanjay, would you rather start and stop your car or let the engine run? Engine run all the time, every single time. This is a big one for me. I cannot stand auto start-stop engines. I always leave the engine running if I'm going to the grocery store for a quick
Oh, really? Wow.
quick run. It's running. I do not.
Long
turn it
train,
off.
it's running.
Sorry?
When there's a long train,
Oh,
like you
yeah.
have to wait for a train. Yeah.
That rarely happens because I'm not too close to a
Oh,
railway
okay.
crossing, but yeah. Oh, that's good.
I feel bad for his family.
Yeah. Neff is with me here. First thing I do in a car is turn off auto starts.
Oh, you can turn it off.
Yeah.
I've never had a car with that, so.
Yeah, they're getting pretty numerous now.
Yeah.
I think it's okay with hybrid cars because I don't think there's a way to stop it with a hybrid car. But I'm told that their starters are way beefier. But I'm not a mechanic, so. Kevin says I don't chew food, so my teeth don't work. Yeah, liquid food. But see, teeth heal, right? Like enamel builds up, you wear the enamel out. It's kind of like
Does
your
enamel?
joints.
Does it?
I think they do.
I don't know.
Yeah. Not qualified. I don't know.
Me neither. But I'm told there's a repairing process. I've read at least. There's like a repairing process to your teeth. Dirk says I'm the second owner of my SD also after 1 year. Had it since 2014, still going strong. Yeah. There you go. I don't have mine anymore, sadly. Yeah, I do miss it. But going for that Corolla, you know.
Cheer it up.
Sanjay sells his cars when his watch gets in an accident. Yeah. Joyce says, truthfully, I do get mad at myself when I do anything on the computer that involves additional keystrokes. Okay. Yeah, I agree. Keith, do you have any quirks you'd like to talk about that kind of
I
relate?
feel like the way I collect and buy watches is a reflection of how I approach literally everything in my life.
Yeah.
Even though I let myself go a little crazy with watches, so I have 4 of them. But yeah, I just I'm cheap. I wear the same thing every day pretty much. And yeah, that's definitely I mean, it's a good thing that I don't get tired of my watches really.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, my my watch collecting is definitely a reflection of me, which I'm curious of Clayton, because Clayton I think might be almost the opposite of the way I collect. Like, do you think the way you collect, Clayton, is a reflection of your personality for other things in life?
The fact that I collect watches is a contradiction to the rest of because
Yes.
I'm super practical in every other aspect of my
Okay.
life. Had the same car for 10 years, Ford Escape. It's paid off, and I'm going to run it into the
Yeah.
ground. We're not like we just. I want my cars to run, and upkeep them to run, and I don't care what they look like. The Escape's a little worse for wear. I don't care. I just want to get me where I'm going. Super practical with like I'll shop around for, gas prices, but that $5,000 watch, no
Yeah,
problem.
exactly.
And I was never a big collector of anything. So my wife's even like still surprised that like I became a watch collector because I kind of minimalist. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
my hobby's a pretty big contradiction to most everything else in my life. But there's a couple of parallels. Like I'm impulsive about some things, and I definitely with watches. There's a couple of parallels there, but I would say it's more of a contradiction.
Hmm.
See, that's really interesting because a contradiction, and I wonder if a few years from now. But you've been in the watch hobby for like 5 years now, right?
Yeah, between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I wonder if, like, in a few years, the watch part of your hobby would change the other part of, like, your life. Like, you'd be more of a
maybe.
collector, like, if you get into pens or something.
Possibly. Yeah,
Because,
it it could.
yeah, there's only one thing for me where I'm unique, or where something unique happened in the watch hobby area, and then it actually bled into the rest of my life, was, similar to wear and tear, but more along the lines of scratches. Um, like, the reason I became an automotive detailer was because I wanted to keep my car pristine, and I still have that itch. And when I first got into watches, I was like that with watches too. I even sold my Snowflake because it got damaged too easily. I was starting to see scratches more easily, and it was really bugging me. But I think that changed me a bit, and I thought, you know what, I can't do this. I'm going to embrace the scratches, and from then on, it bled into the rest of my life, in the sense that used to also keep phones pristine, like my cell
Hmm.
phone. I used to be a consumer tech guy too, um, so I generally have the latest phone or toy, and I used to keep things pristine, like always in a case. Would check for dust, like I mentioned, saran wrapped and stuff like that. Sometimes if I had to do dusty stuff, and now I don't even wear a case on my phone, and I just let it get scratched out because it's something I use every day, and that happened only because I got into wristwatches, and so my watches get scratched up occasionally, and it doesn't break my heart anymore. The same with my cell phones, get scratched up, doesn't break my heart. Same with my vehicles, still a little jittery there, but for the most part, if it gets scratched up, it doesn't break my heart. I'm like, oh well, it's gonna happen. But before, it was like the end of the world. Like, I remember my first new car in the Focus ST, um, and there was a scratch from someone, I guess, on the street when I parked it. Someone leaned on it and with a backpack or something and walked away, left a gouge, not a gouge, but a scratch on it. And I thought, oh no! Drove it right home, got out the wet sanding kit, sanded it down, polished it, got it like brand spanking new again. And yeah, that's how it used to be. Now I'm like, well, oh well, that kind of sucks, but I'll live with it. And so it's only because
That's
of
good.
the watches, but yeah. So it would be cool to see if you start becoming more of a collector now of other stuff.
That's happened when you say that you're a little more lenient on wear and tear on other things maybe now. I'm sort of with watches. See, I'm like a whirlwind. Maybe it's my ADD or whatever, but I notoriously take horrible care of my stuff. You just leave everything a mess. Cars a mess inside, all that. And watches are the only thing I don't really do that with. I'm not afraid to wear them, but I make sure they're clean, and I take care when I'm changing straps and everything, and that has sort of bled over into maybe taking care a little bit better of my stuff.
Mm.
So I don't know about like collecting other things, but definitely like appreciating what you spend money on and taking care of it
Mm.
is has bled over from watches, which I do that with, to maybe other things. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Wow, that's really interesting too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed that a lot. I was actually just thinking about that not too long ago, actually. So interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Let's get back here into the chat. Um, Bobby Legs is here. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. What about wear and tear on the atmosphere? I guess the atmosphere has a healing process too. So like your teeth, just use the atmosphere.
Still don't know if that's true.
That's true.
Uh,
um, Kevin says Sanji would make a good getaway car driver. Sanji equals baby driver. Um, Lives in the dirty schwa. You always leave the car running. Oh man. Let's see. Um, Scrolling down. Hey, Torn's here. Good to see you, Torn. Hope you're doing well. Hope everyone is doing well. Um, Goodness, one needs to tell Sanjay, the enamel on your teeth doesn't grow back like toenails. I know that. I know that. But there's some. I don't know where I read it, but there's some sort of. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a false memory. Uh, Mark has a Fiesta. Paul says STs are great. They are great. They're so great. Um, let's see another oatmeal discussion coming. Wish that made that joke. What joke? Okay, let's go back here. Sorry. See,
I saw he ended up deleting it, but I will say it was
oh yeah,
very
I saw.
funny. But
Yeah, it
it's
was
one
funny.
you would not want to read.
Sorry, Sanji, just a joke. Okay, so you say you had to delete it, but one funny thing about StreamYard
Oh
is
yeah, that's right.
it's there. You can't take it away.
That's a good
That's
one.
pretty funny. Might not show up on YouTube, but StreamYard's permanent. No, go back. Too late. um, Walter saying don't get Sanji started on pens and ink. Pens and ink, yeah. Oh man, do you know how much it drives me nuts when you're cleaning a pen? And sorry, I actually did external pens. And you're turning the plunger on the ink man, I don't have words today.
Yeah.
This thing, the cartridge. There you go. Not the cartridge, but the filler thing. So you turn this thing, and when you clean it, you're turning it, and then you're turning it back, and you're getting water in and out and out, in and out, and you're just screwing this thing for 5 minutes, just turning it, and I'm like, this is horrible. I'm destroying this thing. So yeah, I should.
Do you have to clean it out if you just keep using the same ink over and over again?
Not as often. Like,
Okay.
so yeah, I did end up resorting to that.
Yeah.
So in that case, I think I do it every like 3 or 4 refills, so like once a month or so. Yeah. Paul says tons of choices, tons of sedan hot hatch choices. Well, lost our end. I don't like. Oh, this is one thing I don't like. Hyundai as a brand, and Kia as a brand. That's one of my quirks. And no offense to anyone who does. And this is directly related to homage watches. So it's okay. Again, it's okay if you like homages. I don't. I really don't like homages. To me, homage is just knockoff, right? It's a copy watch, and maybe it's not illegal, but I don't like it. um, and like recently, not even recently, but Kias and Hyundais like have been really bugging me recently because I came to this realization in the watch hobby that I don't like homages, and now I'm driving down the road and I see a Kia Telluride or something, and I'm like, it's a Range Rover, right? And it's like, no, it's a Kia. It looks like a Range Rover. Like a direct one to one, not one to one, but really close copy of a Range Rover, and drives me up the wall. Um, and yeah, that's another thing. Again, no offense to anyone who likes homage watches, it's great. But now I think Hyundai is getting away from that because I feel like the Elantra and the Sonata. We're talking about cars now. Sorry, is a bit more different. It has their own personality in a sense, um, but yeah, really drives me up the wall when I'm driving and I see this Kia Telluride and it's just a knockoff Range Rover, and I'm like, oh man, I'd rather have a Corolla. But anyway, I had
And
to
you
use
will
that.
someday.
Yes,
Yeah.
3 to 5 months.
One day you'll get the call.
Yeah, yeah. I'll run over and get my Corolla.
Now we're gonna get
Um,
your salesman something nice when he
yes,
finally
I
delivers
gotta
your
buy the
Corolla.
I gotta buy the AD pizza, right? And donuts. Make sure they get me my Corolla a little sooner than 3 months. That way,
I
they
will say I was at a Mitsubishi dealership today. Not one single Mitsubishi in the park, to buy in the parking
yeah,
lot. Not one.
yeah,
Yeah.
It was
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It's pretty wild. Um, there's a lot of pre-owned stuff, but nothing new. Um, I don't know. Were there any pre-owned stuff on your end, Keith?
There was pre-owned there, but not Mitsubishis. Just like other random brands. I was just there to get work done on
Yeah,
my car, but I just happened to
yeah,
notice that. But I'm getting work done on my car because I don't want to buy a new car right now because the prices are so high. So,
yeah. I mean, they're not too bad, and they're not too different from
but
what
I
they
but
used to
I
be.
I feel like they're going to come down still a good amount, so I'll try and wait because my car is an '06, so it's pretty old and it's very rusty,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to hang on.
Hmm. Yeah. Maybe. I guess things are more expensive here in Canada anyway, like car wise.
Mm,
So maybe because of that, the rise in prices. Like, I mean, I can't believe what Mazda Miatas are going for here, or any sports car for that matter. Um, but regular cars, like everyday cars, they seem reasonable still.
okay.
Yeah, but let's see here. Uh, Kevin says that a really cool Grand Seiko pen. It sure is. It sure is the one you gave me. See, it's still the way you know that this is my daily now is it's always full, always got ink, and I love writing with it, and I don't know why I have $1,000+ pens. Man, that feels awful to say, but um, yeah, I am not using them. um, let's see. Neff, this is really funny that you say that. Neff says I'm an homage to my parents. um, yeah, I was telling my son today that he's a hybrid of his mom and me, and he got a little, yeah, he thought that was pretty funny. Pentakura, House of the Dead,
House of the
House of the
Dragon.
Dragon, House of the Dragon. What's worse? Neither. Pete's here. Good to see you, Pete. Y'all, and
Sanjay,
yesterday I
you
watched
and I
Hobby.
might be the only ones who have never seen an episode of Game of Thrones on this whole. I know you haven't, and I
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't either. So I don't know about you, Keith.
I've seen one episode because I went to like a viewing party to hang out with people and just
Hmm.
sat quietly for an hour while they watched the show. But it's not for me.
yeah.
I'm not into fantasy stuff really.
Pete says my watch hobby precisely mirrors my general life habits. Yeah. And we were also discussing how if you're watch habit, like a new habit forms in your watch hobby, and if it just bleeds into your real life, like your general life, I find that just fascinating. um, it says new badge on Kias are awful and huge. They are awful, and it looks like KN with the N
Yeah, the
backwards.
I've been seeing that new logo. I don't know how new it is, but I'm noticing it for the first time. I was like, "What is that vehicle?" And then it dawned on me it was a Kia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I remember when I was looking at cars years ago, Hyundai always had like a bad track record in terms of like breaking down in service. I think that's improved, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was always the knock on them. Um, I remember when I was looking at new cars years and years ago,
Yeah.
but I do kind of like the Veloster though.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm warming up to Hyundai a bit more because they seem to have a personality now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I get it about the Elantra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, probably steer away, huh, from the car talk. Pun not intended, but I am leaning into that pun.
It's
um,
gotten a bit flat.
yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't want to go over the limit, you know.
We'll change gears.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Are you sure you're not a dad?
Uh, uh, I got the joke part down.
Yeah. Collins found that inflation in the U.S. is much higher than Canada. Another car pun there. Is it really that much higher? I thought we were at like 10% here. Um, okay, our Joey own view on electric vehicles. Not a fan of electric vehicles. I think they're grossly more environmentally hazardous than combustion engine vehicles. Basically, I mean, based on recycling and
The batteries.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, it's almost yeah. Anyway, that's become political now, so I don't wanna really talk about that. Um, okay, put the brakes on this. Yes,
That's a good one.
that's
Why didn't
great.
we think of that?
Um, do you guys, Keith, do you have anything else that you'd like to talk about? Maybe something that's changing you from the watch hobby?
Changing me. Not that I could think of, no.
No.
I don't think Clayton, did you say one of yours?
Yeah,
Yeah, I just said how it's more contradiction
Oh,
than
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
yours. Okay.
and he mentioned that he is respecting things a bit more now, like
Oh, yeah,
things
yeah.
that
Yeah.
he spends more
I
money
think
on.
watches have kind of taught me to do that. It's
Yeah.
like my nephew just got he just turned 16 and got his license and he has a car and like we all kind of help, but he put a good chunk of his own money into it too, and I think my sister thinks he'll respect it more if he had something into it.
Hmm.
So I think that's it's kind of like that with me and watches. It's not that I didn't buy other things before, but when you spend so much money on something that's like not really it's a luxury to have, and so I take care of it, and especially
Mhm.
because I may sell it one day also. I think that goes into
Yeah.
it too. So
Yeah.
I mean, I wear them and scratch them for sure. I don't baby them when I wear them, but just like cleaning them and that sort of stuff. I am pretty good about that where I've never really been. I've only cleaned when I get sick of it, and I have a high threshold for slobby messiness. So
Hmm. Kevin S, another zinger here. Watches have taught me to overextend myself in most aspects of my life. That's really good. In a weird way, I kind of understand. I know he's joking there, but yeah. Now when I want something and it's a bit too much, usually it used to be that I was like, oh well, I can't afford that right now. Now I'm like, okay, what can I sell to make that
Oh,
happen?
yeah.
So I totally understand that, even though it's probably not serious there. Um,
That creeps in too when you think of like, oh God, I need to repair something, and you think of what effect that's going to have on the watch budget.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
That's not a good sign. Need a new fridge. But my watch I want.
Oh, that watch is gonna have to wait another
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Um, in a weird way, it makes you think like everything else is kind of affordable. I don't
Yes.
know if you thought that. Um, like when you think about a watch and you're thinking, okay, that Grand Seiko, this is me. That Grand Seiko is, $8,000. That fridge is only $600.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's like
it's
you could
pretty.
replace every appliance in your house for less money than one watch, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Neff came to the same conclusion, except the other way.
Yeah, the other way.
Oh, yeah.
Watches made everything seem more expensive. 1,600 for a fridge, crazy. I became way more loose with my wallet after watches.
Well, I
Oh
mean,
God.
the way I justify it with watches, which is just justifying it, and that's it's not really realistic, is watches hold value or many of this other appliances that you're, buying. Once you buy it, it's worth way less. But if
Mm,
you buy watches right, it's still worth a good amount.
yeah,
So
it's
that's
Yeah.
kind of the way I justify spending the money on watches versus maybe something else.
yeah, it's somewhat of an asset and not a
Hmm.
liability. I mean, it is a liability, but you can argue that it's an asset, right?
I mean, think
Kind
you
of
could
like your
buy a
car.
TV or something and how much that decreases in price right away, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Oh, it becomes worthless, right?
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah.
It's an
Like
asset class, as Mr. Wonderful might say.
yeah, yeah. Longine.
Yeah. Yeah. Great investment piece.
Yeah. Um,
The dials are just crazy.
yeah. I like to have different dials in my collection. And Longines is one of the best maisons.
Yeah. What am I on? Uh,
um, Mr. Wonderful, if you're watching, we still love you.
yeah.
We know you're not watching. Pete says I bought my low-level motorsport mindset 2 watches. When you spend your money, you're committed. You don't lose everything in a weekend, and you could lose everything in a weekend. Okay, yeah. And in a weird way, one thing, like I've always been a collector. Clayton, I know you haven't been a collector, and this is new for you.
Hmm.
Um, I've always been a collector, and I've always, when looking back, I've always collected things that I can use and use a lot. Like I used to collect Tintin books, and I'd read them until the pages were falling off, but I'd still have them in my collection.
Yeah.
And I collected movies, so DVDs for a while there. I collected Leathermans and pocket knives for a bit. Not pocket knives, but multi tools. And that was a huge thing. And I had to use them. Like it was worthless if I couldn't use them. So I tried collecting stamps at one point, and I hated it. It was very depressing to just look at something and put it away. So,
Right.
so yeah, so that's one similarity where watches, where I feel like I have to use my watches,
Yeah.
because and like I got into collecting a few video games with the recent closures of my childhood consoles, online e-store closures. So I collected physical media of them, and I have to use them. I will use them. I'm not just staring at these things. They're gonna get used maybe a decade from now, but yeah. So one other thing where I that came from real life that applies to the watch hobby is the stuff that I collect I have to use.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that's why
like
I got into collecting watches because I do use them. Like I do use I time my runs with bezels and stuff. So I like that watches are functional, and yeah, you can have a collection of them and wear them and use them. Yeah, I think I agree with you on like I probably collected baseball cards for a while when I was a kid. I know I have some at my mom's house still, but I
yeah,
don't think you didn't really do anything with them. I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to have, instead of baseball, I had cricket cards,
Mm,
and, uh, and I used them. You know, like, I had them, and I would use, like, we'd play top trumps. I don't know if you're familiar with this, where you have a deck of cards, cricketers, and you'd shuffle out the cards to anyone who's playing. So we used to go in a school van, back in Sri Lanka where I grew up. Um, and I had a collection of cards. We'd shuffle up and hand out the cards, and then we'd play top trumps. So someone would mention a stat on the card, and everyone would say out the stat of the card that they're holding. And yeah, the winner, the one with the high stat wins all the cards, and the person who cleans out everyone else is the winner. And that's kind of how we played it.
hmm,
Um, so even cards, cricket cards, I had to use them.
cool.
Yeah, Pokemon cards, I had to use them. That was way back in the day, though.
I had like a lot of GI Joes and trans. I wouldn't say I collected them. I just wanted one whenever I went to the store, and I played with those a bunch.
Yeah,
But yeah, wouldn't say
yeah.
I collected those. I was just a kid with toys. But
Keith, do you feel like you have to use what you have? You're
Oh yeah,
you're
for sure,
minimalist
for
as well,
sure.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm kind of like an anti-collector. That when I think about what I've collected in my past, like growing up, like I had a huge CD collection, and I still love music. It's just now it's on Spotify. Otherwise, I collected X-Men cards for a while, but
Hmm,
nothing since I was a teenager besides CDs.
hmm.
Yeah, just actually when you said I don't think this was on a stream, but you said that how much video game stuff was going for on eBay. I literally like sold all my video game stuff. I
Really?
sold the DS. I had all this GameCube games and GameCube
Oh man,
controllers, and I sold everything. And like, I got a good amount of money for
yeah.
all that stuff. So it's
GameCube
nice to
one.
get it out of the house and then get money for it too. So
Yeah, I sold all my GameCube stuff because I wasn't using them. The year before the pandemic. So the pandemic hit,
oh
and things skyrocketed, and basically
yeah,
sold my GameCube stuff for nothing. I had like 5 GameCubes because I
oh
bought
really?
extra in case, kind of like with the Wii U. I bought extra because if something broke, I could fix it. I'd have donor consoles, right? Um, and and with the 3DS, I have like 7 or 8 3DSs, so they're donor consoles. Um,
I think my
and yeah, I
3DS I
just
got bucks for. It was pretty good. It was sitting in a drawer.
yeah.
Even like the Wavebird, $70. I think I got close to 100 for a Mario Party game. It was wild. I was like, this is a lot of fun. Now I'm kind of running out of stuff to sell.
Yeah.
I just sold
Okay.
a Star Wars collectible this summer, and yeah, did very well on it. It was
Really?
a life size Huffy speeder bike. It was when Return of the Jedi came out, they were giving away at there was drawings for them at like Kmart. I think they only made like a couple hundred, and my mom won. And I've had it since 1984. And it's fairly big. My mom was like, you can sell it if you want. We've had it long enough. Like I'm not a Star Wars collectors, but there are some Facebook pages for Star Wars collectibles, and I posted it on there, and I got tons of like, "Are you selling? Are you selling?" And I
Oh yeah.
finally did. It
Wow.
happened to it had to be someone local because I wasn't going to ship it,
Yeah.
and yeah, so met somebody locally here who didn't live too far away, and met at a Target parking lot and did the deal. So
Opened up the trunk.
yeah. Everyone's like, "Why is that man? It looks like a tricycle or like a kid's riding toy." So like, what's going on here? I give him a toy and he gives me money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, congrats, man.
There's a
That's really
whole
cool.
there's a whole world of collectibles out there, and they're going for a lot. So
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe people collect, those like, Funko Pop things. And, well, I
yeah,
guess
Oh
the
yeah.
Beanie Babies, you were mentioning it in a podcast, right?
yeah, yep.
Um, yeah, crazy. And my son has a huge collection of, Jurassic World dinosaurs, like, huge collection. I wonder if it'll be worth something someday.
Maybe.
So,
Don't get your hopes up.
yeah, I won't.
Well, Kevin S has a good question in the chat though. I really want to know the answer to this.
Yeah,
Um, whatever the last Kevin S was, it's like one, two, three, four. It's like 10 up,
turn up,
10 up from the bottom.
let's see. Is it? It's not the movies one.
Yeah, it is a movies one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Kevin, Sanji collected movies. His has no familiarity with most mainstream movies. What's up with that?
Yeah, how do you collect movies and you don't know anything about movies?
See, um, if you quiz me on 90s or early 2000s movies, chances are
Oh,
I might know what you're talking about.
okay.
Yeah, but it's even then, it's been a while, so, like,
Yeah.
I used to be into horror movies, which I definitely am not now, but, yeah, I had all the Saw movies up until
Mm.
7, I think.
Nice. I didn't know
Um,
you liked or you used to like horror movies.
yeah, no, I can't stand that now. Like, I wouldn't touch that with
Oh.
a barge pole. Um Again, no offense to anyone who does like that. It's just I I'm way more sensitive to death now. So
Mm.
in a way, like it's to me when I see someone dying, even if it's a fictitious person, even if it's in a video game, it's tragic. Like I had to take a moment, you know. Like
Is that a
I was
is that a result of having kids? Is that or was that
possibly
before? Okay. Because I've heard of
also
that happening to people once they have kids. It makes that stuff kind of harder to watch.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a it's a little bit religious and
Mm.
having children. So I wasn't a Christian before, but when I
Mm.
became a Christian, and I became more sensitive to that. Also, why I say you're precious, because I was just playing a video game, and in this game, there's like this invasion of aliens, and they're just devouring people in the story, right? And I had to put it down. I was just like, oh man, like someone's mom just died, or and yeah, it's a little harder for me.
Yeah.
but but yeah, so if you kind of quiz me on 90s movies or 2000s, I should get those,
Okay.
like the Matrix.
I like cheesy 80s horror movies best.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's my jam.
there's the I'm trying to remember your podcast episode with
Oh
the
yeah.
Casio.
The watch spotting in horror movies, yeah. Yeah,
Was
there's
it
some
was there like a
Casio.
mall one?
Yeah,
Um,
chopping mall.
chopping mall.
Oh
uh,
yeah, there's a lot of Casio all over that movie. It took a place in a mall in 1985. So yeah, they actually had like Casio displays in the background at some of the stores, and they're using like a Casio boom box.
hmm.
Yeah,
I didn't know they made boombox.
yeah. Oh, they can
Wow.
do it all.
Before we end for the night, let's just go through the chat real quick. If only stamps had spring bars. Yeah, what's up with that? um, and when you use the stamp, you lose it.
Right.
You can't really collect the stamp and use them.
Every time you lick a stamp, it's ruined.
Yeah. Um, Neff says I collected a few things, coins as a kid, bourbon, and now watches. You can't really use bourbon; you kind of run out, right? Well, I sure hope you
You
run
could use it
out.
though.
um, Bruno's asking what's the most unusual thing you've collected. Keith, you actually really haven't collected much.
I have to think about that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there is anything.
My grandmother collected like for lack of a better term, like piggy banks.
Oh, okay.
Anytime, yeah, she would buy like whenever we went somewhere, she didn't want a magnet. She's like the most interesting bank you find, and then she kept track of who got her what, and she filled them. She was like she collected like quarters, and
Huh.
like in the United States, they made like all like quarters pertaining to the 50 states with like something representing that state on the back. She had like oodles and oodles of them. And then she said, when I go, you'll get I'm giving everybody the banks that they got me full of quarters. And sure enough, when she passed last year, I got a few banks that I bought her. They're all full. Just so many
Wow.
quarters.
Yeah. Hmm.
But yeah, that was one of the more interesting things I've seen somebody collect. Yeah, she had all kinds of them. Whenever somebody went anywhere, that's what they got her. She had one that was like a toilet. You flush the toilet, and the quarter goes in, and it had like it didn't work anymore, even with a battery, but it used to make like a sound effect of a toilet flushing. She had some interesting ones.
Interesting.
Hmm.
That I can honestly say I've never thought of that as a
Yeah,
collection.
yeah.
um, I guess the most unusual thing for me would be multi-tools. Can't really think of anything else.
I did collect. Now I think of it, concert tickets. I had like
Mm,
concert tickets from every concert I went to. I started from the beginning, but then eventually concerts started not using physical tickets and
right.
just like CDs. It kind of. I think I still have them, but every once in a while I consider getting rid of them.
CDs were one thing I took horrible care of.
Oh,
I used to just destroy them.
oh no, I took
Yeah.
just like watches for me now. I took, like, I remember someone was going through one of my CD booklets and I was like, they're bending the pages. Like I couldn't stand someone else. And now it's just like they're completely useless and I didn't have to worry about it at all. So
Why are they useless?
I mean, for one, I don't think I even own a CD player right now.
Yeah.
Because I just listen to everything on
They don't even put
Spotify
them
or
in most cars now, I don't think.
yeah, I do have
Hmm.
one. That's true. I do have one in my car, but I don't use them at all.
Yeah.
But I can't get myself to get rid of them either. If they were worth something, I'd sell them, but they're not worth anything, so I don't know what to do.
That's that's I don't know what I think about. Like I still have a few movies. Like even though we have Disney Plus, I still have those Disney movies
Mhm.
in the shelves. Kind of like if they decide to take them away, you kind
Yeah,
of still have them, right?
yeah,
So it's I think they're worth something because say Spotify went tomorrow, you can still listen to your music.
yeah. I thought about getting rid of all the cases and the artwork and just keeping the disc in like one of those CD wallet
That's something
things.
a mom would do. Yeah.
But
CDs
maybe not.
sound great, and it's still a digital file, so it's still
Yeah,
worth hanging on to. I think if something does
yeah,
happen like that, like you can still pop them right back in and put the music files on your computer. So,
yeah,
and they also just they sound great.
yeah,
Like people are getting into vinyl, and like that's just not my. If I
yeah,
was going
yeah.
to get back into a physical format, I think it would probably be CDs.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There's what was that guy in the movie with the aliens in like the Marvel? There's that guy with the headphones. And, um,
I don't
he
watch the
listens to like
Marvel.
this weird 70s or 80s song.
Oh,
Kind of overweight.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I can't
I don't
remember,
know.
but he has like a cassette tape, and
Oh, are you
yeah,
talking the Chris Pratt movie?
I don't know
Oh,
who that
I
is.
can't think of it right now.
Yeah, there's like a raccoon in it
Yeah,
that talks. Is
God.
that it?
Yeah, Star Lord.
Star Lord. That's his name.
It's from what's the movie, Kevin? I can't think of it. They made
Star.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, that
Yeah,
sounds familiar. Yeah,
yeah.
Star Lord. Oh, that's got to be tongue in cheek, right? They can't be serious with that name.
I
Um,
don't know.
yeah. Anyway, well, yeah, I think that's a good place to stop. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It was great chatting with you all. Thank you, Keith and Clayton, as well.
Hmm.
Do you guys have anything you'd like to plug? Something you've been listening to or thinking about? Promote someone? Torin did a video on his Breitling Super
Yeah, I
Ocean.
watched that tonight. That was good.
Yeah,
I like that watch.
yeah, yeah. I do too. I didn't realize the minute hand turned into a square, like in the middle. It was
Hmm.
interesting. Look.
Yeah,
Um,
on the watch it's based on, the second hand had that square, and I think that may have been a better choice, but it's still fine. You really I didn't notice it really when I saw it in person. Um, the bezel action is phenomenal. Like
Hmm.
right up there with the not right up there with the Submariner, but it felt like the Submariner.
oh,
It
yeah,
felt closer to the Submariner bezel than any other watch I think that I've handled anyway. It was
yeah,
really well done.
yeah. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on that too. Um, Colin says, "Sorry, Sanjay." Colin, don't worry about it. I don't care. It's an honor that you made that joke. So anyway, maybe going too far there, but yeah, everyone, just want to mention that you are infinitely valuable and you are precious, and I do mean that. And I hope to see you next week. See you, everyone.
Take care, guys.